What's popping? What's good, y'all? How's it going? I'm so glad you're here. I want to talk to you about fear. Fear, fear. It's got two meanings, okay? You can forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. All right, this video is not going to be for everybody. Matter of fact, if you're the guy that's excited to wake up every day, I'm talking like that alarm clock go off and you pop out of bed with all this energy like, woo, it's Monday, let's get it. Weekend could not be over soon enough. And my guy, you found the secret to life and you do not need to listen to me. However, if you view life in two separate ways, you have your home life, from which you derive all your pleasures and enjoyments, and then you have your work life, the thing you must get through on a day-to-day basis so that you can make the type of money to enjoy your home life. My guy, seeing as how you spend most of your waking life at work or commuting to and from work, that is a sad existence and a sorry waste of your time. I'm willing to bet that when you wake up in the morning, you dread the day. You say things like, oh man, fuck today, I'm not ready, I need more sleep, just dragging. If that's you, I need you to go ahead and listen to me. Sit down, get some paper, write some stuff down. So get this, before you were born, the world needed something. It was in lack of something. There were places that were dark, in need of a particular type of light. God put that thing in you. God gave you that light so you could share it with the world. God said, go forth, be fruitful and multiply. Enjoy your gift and let it bring you joy. And then he said, have dominion. He said, be the best at what you do. But somewhere along the line, social conformity got you. And I understand. Social conformity can be a motherfucker. Now, I don't know what your gift is, and I'm not, if through this video, I probably couldn't help you find it. I could sit with you one-on-one and help you personally discover what your gift is. But right now, I'm going to inspire you to figure out when you lost it, to give you a better idea to when to go back. Because somebody along the way said, you had your gift. It's a primal need for you. But somebody told you that was stupid. Somebody said, you'll never get anywhere in life with that. And that person was usually your parent, a teacher, your peer, somebody you looked up to. And you believed them. And that's okay. Maybe you don't quite pick it up what I'm putting down here, my guy. I'm going to tell you a story, okay? There was a little boy who lived in a poor neighborhood. And he had rocket boots. Man, he loved to play with them rocket boots. I'm talking, he fly around, say, Mira, mom, look. Loved them rocket boots. Mira, dad, look. Loved them. But his parents would tell him, that's fine, mijo, but one of these days, you're going to have to put those rocket boots away so you can become a man, so you can become a woman, whatever it is you are, and provide for your family. Okay. So he dreaded the day that came, but eventually it did. And as he'd walk around the world, he'd realize all the older kids, they were moving around the neighborhood. They were really getting around. They all had bicycles. So he listened to his parents, his teachers, his friends. And he worked real hard in a job he didn't really like, saved up and got himself a bicycle. Now he's moving like everybody else. And as he gets a little bit older and starts to become a man and becomes, has kids and a family, he says, oh man, I need a car now. Because everybody else got a car, I gotta get a car. So he works a little harder, gets a promotion, maybe goes and seeks a little bit of 9 months of schooling to receive some sort of certificate so he can get more pay at his work. And then he's proud of this. He's got his car. But one day he decides to look up. And what he sees amazes him. He sees a beautiful world filled with beautiful things, lights and colors, and nobody's up there sweating and dying in a trench somewhere. Nobody's doing anything they don't want to. Everyone has a fulfilled life. But they flying up there. They got hovercrafts and space machines and jet packs and whatnot. Man, I want to get up there, he says to himself. I don't know how. I got to go get me a flying machine. That's what I got to do. So he goes around to all the dealerships in the neighborhood and says, hey, man, you sell flying machines here? Man says, no, we don't sell flying machines here. Okay. Goes to the next dealership. Hey, man, you sell flying machines here? No, sir, we don't sell flying machines here. And then to the next dealership, and to the next dealership, and to the next dealership. And he goes to every dealership in his neighborhood. Nobody sells flying machines. So he writes it off. He does everything he can in the place he feels or believes he belongs to pretend like he's up there. He buys all the beautiful things. He buys the nice watches. He buys his lady the nice purses. He puts the nice rims on his car. Meanwhile, the bank account is stuck at zero or overdrawn. He does everything he can to pretend he's up there, but in reality, he's not. But he fails to realize that upstairs, collecting dust, is them motherfucking rocket boots and his ability to fly. All he had to do was believe. But I understand he's got two types of fear that's holding him back. You got two types of fear that's holding you back. One is your fear to fail. He's scared to put them rocket boots on and fall. That's okay though, because guess what? You're going to fall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Who knows how many times you fall? But your joy for flying will give you the strength to get up again. Like Les Brown says, baby, you will fail your way to success. And that's the way it goes. The second fear is holding him back is he's scared to go against the grain. He's scared to rearrange his thinking. Because I know what it is, homie. I'm Mashika. You can't go against the grain. You get scraped out real quick. I understand what it is. But baby, you out now. It's time to enjoy your freedom. Freedom of choice. Freedom to think the way you want to think. Stop believing those lies. All throughout history. Okay, let me tell you something. If you want to get somewhere, you need to follow the people that are there and have gotten there from you. So if you want the life that your parents want, if you want the life that your friends have, then you go ahead and listen to them. But if you want to be a millionaire or own your own business and your parents are millionaires, then homie, they can't fucking give you the roadmap of how to get there. But you know who can? The people who have done it before. So follow them. Do what they do. And what I have noticed in their life, it's one thing that they have. They have one passion, one gift. See, the first step to success is mastery. And the first step to mastery is inwards. There's something in you that you must hone, that you must groom, that you must become perfect at. And you must do to your best ability, and it will give you the fruitful way of life. Now, all throughout history, it's riddled with people who have these mundane tasks that they never think they would do anything with them. Let me tell you a story, as a matter of fact, history lesson time. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about Sir Francis Galton. Most of the story is about his older cousin, Charles. Now, you see, Sir Francis Galton, child prodigy, hella high IQ, very celebrated in the community for all his work and school stuff. And Charles, not very smart. He wasn't dumb, but when he was in a group of his peers, which was the science and academic community, he was more often than not the dumbest man in the room. Okay, his head was always elsewhere. You know what Charles liked to do? Charles had a passion as a child, as an adult. He loved to collect things. He was a collector. Mostly liked to collect organic things, little bugs and sticks and animals, and put them in jars and just stare at them all fucking day long. That was his shit. He loved that. He would be late to class because he was putting shit in jars. He would wake up early in the morning just to go put shit in jars before he could go to school. But Charles's father, he was on his ass about this. He said, boy, what you doing collecting shit in jars again? That ain't gonna get you nowhere in life. Sound familiar? It might. Keep listening. So Charles was pushed to choose a vocation in science, but he could not. Charles' father was a doctor. He said, boy, you know what you can't pick? Guess what? You're gonna do med school like me. Charles was like, okay, yeah, whatever you say, Pops. But again, Charles was a terrible fucking student because he was always busy collecting shit in jars. He'd be in class not doing his work because he's looking at all the shit he collected in jars. So Charles failed. And it got to the point where Charles' father got fed up. He says, boy, you ain't shit. You ain't never going to be shit. I've given up on you. But you got to do something with your life, so I'm going to give you a job in the church. Charles was like, damn, whatever you say, Pops. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And before as Charles was preparing to subject himself to a life of servitude in church because Charles wasn't even religious. One of Charles's old professors said, "Hey, yo, check it out. The USS Beagle is leaving port to sail around the world, and they are in need of a biologist to collect specimens to send back in England." Boy, Charles about fell out of his seat. He said, "Whoa, sail around the world, put shit in jars? Well, I'm there, but I'm not a certified biologist." He said, "Yeah, they ain't really paying nobody. You just gonna get room and board and food, and that's about it. And that cool?" Like, when he said, "Shit, you gonna pay me? I'll fly off. I'll pay you to let me fly around or to sail around the world and put shit in jars." Oh, damn it. I gotta start that job at the church tomorrow. Let me go holler at my pops real quick. Goes to his father and says, "Dad, I need you to put that job on hold for a little bit because I want to go sail around the world on the U.S. Beagle." He says, "Boy, what you want to do on the USS Beagle?" He said, "Well, they need somebody to collect specimens." And boy, Charles' father blew up. "What did I tell you about putting shit in jars? And it gets you nowhere in life. You will start the job at the church tomorrow, and that is final." Charles was distraught at this. But at this particular moment, it was a turning point in which the fate of humanity very well hung in balance. Now, he didn't know this. It was just a simple choice to him. But I am so glad, and we are so glad that Charles chose not to conform to what his parents told him and to blaze his own path. Charles, despite his father's protests, took that job anyways and sailed around the world, collecting the shit in jars. Man, he put from Australia to the Amazon, and as he was there, he would notice certain things. The same exact species would have different qualities, like the length of their necks. And he would notice, is that because the plants are taller? Is it something in their genetics? And he began to ask himself a question, a very important question. Where does this life come from? Has it always been this way, or has it changed? And as Charles finished his 5-year journey, he developed a theory. Now, when Charles got back to England, he developed and worked and poured all of his energy on his theory of evolution. This man was Charles fucking Darwin, okay? This man was not bright, not hella smart, never thought he was gonna be anything. This man developed a theory of evolution and changed the way we look at science and life. Because something as mundane as he enjoyed to put shit in jars. So I don't care what you think, what they told you about your gift, about your passion. They told you was stupid. Charles had to put shit in jars and change the world. As simple as that. Follow your path. Okay, now, as long as you're following your path and what you love to do, it will give you the strength to overcome amazing obstacles. There's more to the story, let me tell you. So when Charles got back to push his theory of evolution, he went and said, "Hey man, I got this theory." He said, "Well, hold on, son. Are you a certified biologist?" "Well, no. I don't got time to hear your theory if not a certified biologist. Get out of my office." Now, I remember I told you Charles wasn't very bright, okay? Charles was a terrible student, but he loved his theory of evolution so much, and he spent 8 years studying barnacles. Could you imagine the fucking monotony of studying something for 8 years, especially when you're not a good studier? But he studied the motherfucking barnacles and got his credentials as a biologist, and he came to go push his theory. Now, here comes his next challenge. Now, as you can imagine, Charles Darwin, as a person who liked to spend most of his time isolated, collecting shit in jars, didn't have very good social skills. Okay, he wasn't very sociable. He wasn't smooth. He wasn't no smooth criminal. You know what I'm saying? So he had to then push his theory of evolution in Victorian England. Now, mind you, Victorian England is hella gung-ho, church, everything. Last time someone spoke out against the church was Galileo, and history wasn't too kind to him. But this fear would not stop Charles. He developed social skills. He learned psychology. He studied different tactics of seduction, and he finessed the fuck out these fools and pushed his theory of evolution in a time when he was most likely to be ostracized for it. And he did that without fear, with strength, and just doing what he loves. So you have a gift inside of you, and I need you to search for it. I need you to erase whatever somebody's been telling you and find what your light is and share it with the world. Before I go, I'm going to give you a quote by Marianne Williamson. She hits hard on this one. Check this out. "Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which frightens us most. We often ask ourselves, who am I to be so brilliant, talented, and gorgeous? I say, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. And your playing it small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that others don't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. You were born to make manifest the glory of God within you. And it is in all of us, not just in some. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give permission to others to do the same. And as we liberate ourselves from our fears, our presence begins to liberate others. That quote by Marianne Williamson. She on fire in that one. So I implore you, find what it is you love. Search for your gift and chase it down with every ounce and fiber of your being, without fear. Face everything and rise. If you heard nothing of what I said, I want you to take these 3 things with you. I want you to live well, love strong, and laugh often. My name is Justin Garcia. Welcome to a better place.